Actually, to be honest, it's not the future, guys. I am past, and I'm done with my time. Uh, as old as it gets, but I'll still try to do a half decent job of presenting what we're trying to do. Before I did that, two things. One, I need everybody in the room. Two, I need to see a show of hands. How many WebEngage customers are in this room? Okay, few. So hopefully we'll leave you with something good. And before I get to the presentation, let me call on stage Shreya, who is our chief of staff. Everybody, please put your hands together for Shreya. Thank you. So Shreya is before I get to the product track and talk about what we're doing on the product. I'll let Shreya take you through quick 10 minutes walkthrough of something very ambitious that we are trying to achieve. And it has its genesis on, we are, when we started the journey, right, 11 years ago, the whole idea of retaining, engaging in a certain way that, that we as a product try to inculcate into our customers, we found it very, very, for the lack of a better term, disheartening by the level of the talent that was available in the market to be able to make the most of tools like us that we were building. And while we did whatever we could in terms of simplifying the product even further, writing more documentation, building more content, more videos, educating more, we did everything, and we continue to. By the way, if those of you who have experienced WebEngage and are sitting here at engagement, we are a company known for the quality of content that we are able to generate and very high quality mission driven content, not some SEO, SEM content, right? So you can trust us for that. We tried to do all of this. Despite that, there was a need for us to invest time, money, and resources into helping the ecosystem grow. And that led us to a very ambitious project. We took this up last year, took us some time. We had to collaborate with, academia, industry leaders, many other partners to actually come up with a real good academic content, something which you will learn from. This is not yet another edtech course that you can throw in the dustbin. This is very, very valuable stuff we are building here in Academy. We've just built one course for now. We'll build more. It's more like a beginner's course. But I very strongly recommend in the poll early in the morning, a lot of people were stating themselves to be starting on the retention journey or maybe somewhat there. I do recommend you to visit Academy, meet Shreya after she is done with the presentation, and do take that course. It's for free, doesn't cost you anything, and you'll not become a lead for WebEngage. That's not our intent. So please do that. I'll let Shreya take you through a very small, quick presentation on what Academy really is and what we're trying to do. Thank you, Shreya.
Thanks. Yeah, good evening, everyone. So I'm Shreya from WebEngage. And I want to share a very personal experience that I had. I come from operations, strategy, and finance background. So I joined WebEngage last year, and before joining, I tried to go through as much content as I can on marketing concepts, going through courses on various platforms, so that once I joined WebEngage, I'm just there to kickstart my career in retention marketing space. Then I joined WebEngage, and I realized that whatever I had read on the platforms, few books that were not the thorough books, but the cheat books that were referred to by my friends, my marketing friends, just did not cut it enough. And it was just not sufficient to what WebEngage team was doing on ground. They were practically helping the customers implement various business use cases on ground, helping them create journeys, analyze paths, funnels, cohorts, doing all these exercises and helping them achieve their business goals. And my WebEngage colleagues, couple of them, you met them on the stage today and of course in the event, they helped me stitch my conceptual knowledge to the implementation that they were doing on ground. And it was fantastic. And that's where the whole team came together and they said that they have realized this gap is there in the ecosystem, where how to combine or marry conceptual knowledge with what is happening on the ground is missing. There is no course or guidance when it comes to marrying these two things. These are two extremes. And that's where we come up with WebEngage Academy. It's a distillation of all the learnings, the experiments that have happened in last decade with WebEngage, with its customers, their own learnings, and has gone into it in a way, in a structure that can be consumed by retention marketers, enthusiasts, to make the maximum out of it. So these are few basic questions that come either you are starting a career or have been there for a few years. Am I doing good enough? What I have built, how is it trending vis-a-vis what is industry doing? What are the benchmarks? What are the numbers? What are the metrics that is happening? Where am I when it comes to this, and how do I go about it? So irrespective of which industry you are in, which career role you are in your company, these are the questions that each of us has faced some point of time. So let me talk a bit about the current stage of retention marketing, majorly how it is in the industry. As I mentioned that there's a lack of guidance in retention marketing. Basically, there is no reference guide that I can refer to when it comes to implementing my marketing goals, marketing strategy. Which channel, which is the best channel? How do I reach out to my ICP profile? And still the approach is one style marketing campaign fits all. There has been a number of discussions today, which you all have been part of, where everyone is talking about personalization and reaching the right segment. Because this approach needs to change. What we would like to desire and good to have is expertise in retention marketing as concepts and understanding what are the needle movers to achieve our business goals. Solving real life business problem, which goes beyond the usual promotions and advertisements, but solving what is for the customers. And that's where all our leaders mentioned today that it is thinking from a customer's perspective, then the business, and having tailored marketing campaigns. And what stitches these two stages is, from current to desired, is WebEngage Academy, which will serve as a one-stop learning space for all our retention marketers. So introducing. And yes, that was a quick video. So what is so special about WebEngage Academy? How is it different from other courses that are there? One is it talks about the conceptual knowledge that is there in abundance. But what is the trend line, best practices, how do I benchmark it against? Layering it with the real life scenarios, that once you have to pitch in an idea, a campaign, a strategy in a real life setup, what are the conversations? How does it pan out? Having the learner put through that exploratory approach is what we have tried to build in the engagement in the WebEngage Academy. And of course, the opportunity to be branded as an expert in retention marketing and be part of the community of engagers. So this is what WebEngage Academy offering is at a very bird's eye view. Now, Avlesh is here, but yet let's see what he has to say about WebEngage Academy.
Hi, my name is Avlesh. I'm a co-founder at WebEngage, and I welcome you to WebEngage Academy. User retention and topics around user retention, they're a very relatively new topic, and we're trying at WebEngage to help accelerate the growth of the ecosystem. Our aim is to provide you a whole bunch of courses, assessments, and certifications on user retention. And the WebEngage 101 course that we are just launching is an attempt towards that. I wish you good luck, and hopefully you will do 10x better at your job of improving user retention and engagement for your business. All the very best, and thank you.
So thank you all for taking out time and for being here today. And for all the attendees, we have limited period free access for the WebEngage Academy. So please scan this QR code, and it is there on the digital standees as well. register yourself, and next steps will follow through. Please do feel free to drop in to say hi if you want to know more about WebEngage Academy. Thank you so much. Look forward to see you achieving success through WebEngage Academy. Thank you.
Thank you, Shreya. Just so that you remember, webengage.com/academy. You can go visit the site on your browser. Quickly sign up. Um, all right. Now, coming to the product track, this might be a little overwhelming for people who are new to WebEngage, but it'll be educational nonetheless. I'll make sure of that, and I'll keep this quick. Do I have Amit in the room? Amit, where are you? Amit is our director of products, and he passed on the responsibility to me and shied away from doing it. But I want him to be shown. He's not there. He's not there. In due time. All right. All right. There are 3 tracks. We've done a whole bunch of things in the product, and for the purpose of this conversation, because this was supposed to be a larger gathering, not just customers, we have kept it only to some of the more impactful stuff that changes the way you do your day-to-day engagement and retention. A little bit of backfill for those who are new to WebEngage. WebEngage is it falls in the broader category of what's known as marketing automation as a product, and it solves for 3 different problem statements. One is everything around your data and analytics. When I say data and analytics, this is probably the most lightweight and efficient customer data platform, CDP as it is called, that you will find. Does the job, serves the purpose of becoming a single source of truth for your business, for your marketing and product teams, and your extended teams like operations and service, to be able to have a unified view of your customers. And on top of that data, we do a whole bunch of analytics, which is a solid improvement over some of the aggregated analytics platform that you must have used, like a Google Analytics, or some of the more specialized ones like a Mixpanel, Amplitude, Heap, etc. We do offer a much better quality of analytics, and to add to what we do, we have taken it one step up and added more capabilities to it. That's analytics and segmentation that I'm going to talk about. The second product that we have in WebEngage is the core of our offering. This is a campaign manager, and those who have used campaign management products, for the digital companies or the digital native companies, we were the first ones to build a self-orchestrating journey designer. A drag and drop editor which allows you to build very complex workflows. We'll talk about that too. That's the core of our offering. The second offering, Campaign Manager. And the third one is personalization. Personalization of your websites, personalization of your mobile apps. And all of this is available from a single dashboard, single product, a very new age tool. Those who have the hangover of old economy tools like an Adobe Marketing Cloud, Salesforce Marketing Cloud, or an Oracle Marketing Cloud will find it very refreshingly new. And we've tried to keep it all DIY, and the tool gets you up and running in a couple of weeks, as opposed to spending months trying to figure out your integration. Now, with all that context, let me just quickly take you through some of the new stuff we have done. Again, a quick show of hands. How many WebEngage customers here? Can you guys come ahead a little? Just come ahead a little, all of you. Yeah, I want to look at you. Come on, aajo. All the WebEngage customers, please come here. Because you'll find this more useful. Thank you, and sorry for the trouble. All right, everybody has seen funnels. Anybody who has not seen funnels? Anybody who has not seen funnels? Everybody has seen funnels. Great. Those who have not seen, please go ahead and see. This is how a funnel looks like. It's almost like the very first thing that any product/marketing person start to do in their business. They try to measure actions that are important to them and try and see how the funnels for those actions look like, to see where the drop-offs really are. Because the whole idea behind using something like a WebEngage is to find out where the drops really are and then run all kinds of orchestration to bring some of these users back. Now, this is a very typical funnel. Has this thought occurred to you? Even those who are not WebEngage customers can reply. How many people find this to be useful? Looking at a funnel in a certain way, which is based on the truth or the stated facts. So many people launched my app, so many did a search, so many viewed, so many purchased. Pretty standard funnel. If this funnel were to be seen based on a user attribute or the segments that you've created for your business, how many actually feel that would be useful for them? You'll derive more intelligence. Raise it karo yaar, theek se, dikhna chahiye. Okay, quite a few people. How many of you are not able to do this? You're not WebEngage customers, right? Okay. All right. Congratulations. You'll not be able to do. You'll be able to do this now, and we have introduced this capability for you to be able to apply a filter, which is a user attribute or which is the segments that you've created to see your product funnels in a certain way. Right out of the box. Magical, isn't it? Taali bajao yaar. Okay. Now think about the possibilities. All these are possibilities. You can any funnel that you've built in WebEngage, all these are possibilities. And some of these are attributes, some of these are segments. It doesn't matter. You'll be able to do all of this. And not just this. Think about how many of you, the WebEngage customers, how many of you do actually use rolling segments? Live segments, rolling segments? Okay. That's decent. Okay. Those, for the uninitiated, rolling segments is one of our core offerings, wherein what we do is we allow you to build segments which don't have a time associated to it, a fixed time dimension associated to it. So when I say, find me inactive users in the last 30 days, find me people who have not made a transaction in the last 30 days. Legit use case? Now, if I had to ask you this question, your mind immediately thinks about running a query somewhere, finding a list of users, and that's about it, right? Because if I ran this query today, I'll find users who have not bought in the last 30 days and have a list of users. WebEngage allows you to have a live segment of these users, which basically means if you see this segment right now, it will tell you it has 10,000 users. If you see it tomorrow, it might tell you that it has 9,000 or it probably has 10,500. Because the 30-day window is a moving time window. It keeps moving, right? Now, what that allows you is this criteria that you've specified, this logic, this rule that you've specified. It's not a rule to create a list. It's just a rule. That rule is getting evaluated every microsecond. And what that means is new users will keep matching this criteria and coming in and going out of the segment all the time. So for you, the rule might get true today. For another user, it might get true tomorrow. For somebody, it may never get true because they keep buying every 30 days or within a 30-day time period, right? They'll never enter that segment. Now, this live segment, it basically allows you to track users moving in and moving out. And because you can now track users moving in and moving out of a certain definition, you could actually automate the entry and exit engagement with them. Which means you could build engagement which says anytime a user enters a segment, do something. Which means the moment I get inactive, the moment my last transaction days have crossed 30, something happens. And that is what true marketing automation is, because now that 30-day inactive user problem has been fully automated. We call this as live segments. which doesn't have a list of users. I mean, it has a list if you want to download, but it is a list, different list today. If you download tomorrow, it'll be a different list. It keeps reevaluating every millisecond. You can apply those segments as filters too, rolling segments as filters too. Well, not just funnels. Every other data point that you see in WebEngage, wherever you see data visualizations, you will have attributes and segments to apply filters to, including cohorts, including events. All of these places, you would be able to filter by those attributes. So basically, what we're trying to do with this change is to provide you more power to be able to use the user attribute data and the event information, which is in the form of segments, to apply as filters to all the data visualizations that you see. And we're slowly rolling it out for all the capabilities. Some of these are already available, some of it is in the works. But this is where we are taking our analytics one step forward. Not just that, all of it is actionable, which basically means you will have, again, we are rolling it out in phases, but basically you will have a actionable button against all analytics data points that you see, including things like funnels. You see a funnel, you look at a certain stage of a drop, you'd be able to do a simple right click or a left click. I don't know, what is it? Right click? Right click. Yeah, you'll be able to do some click and figure out action items pertaining to the data set that you're looking at and be able to convert that into actions. So for example, the same example that I was giving you, you were seeing a funnel drop off. You were seeing it for a certain segment of users where you're looking at users acquired through Facebook, and this is how the app installation or product view to purchase journey looks like. You're looking at a funnel, you do a right click, and you convert that, saying this drop that you have from view to purchase needs to get converted into a journey. It gets converted into a journey for you, which basically means people who are looking at your product and not buying, you will get automated reminders based on how the journey is configured from you. And not just that, because this is a continuously running process, self-refreshing process, you'd be able to automate this forever. Which basically means if you've done this use case once, implemented on WebEngage journeys, anybody looking at a product, adding to cart but not buying, just as an example, some automated reminders go to that individual. Now this use case is automated for the rest of your lives. Unless you, of course, want to go back, change the campaign, change the messaging, sure. But until that time, you've automated this problem of users looking at product, not buying through campaigns in this manner. No more doing this manually, first of every month, every week, every morning, get up and do something. You don't have to do that. Second part of the cool stuff we've built. All the WebEngage customers here, how many have experienced personalization yet? Personalizing your websites and apps? Okay, I see a few hands, good. We have more here, so please do look at it. For the rest of the audience, how many operate through websites and apps? I guess assuming everybody, right? You have a website or an app to offer your product and service? Is that true for everybody? Okay. Now, how many of you actually are able to change the content on your website depending on who is showing up on the website? How many of you are able to do that? No, WebEngage customers not allowed. Okay. We should get you on stage and let you talk about that, but anyway, for later. How many how many of you are able to personalize the content on your website or your mobile app depending on who is visiting? Turns out to be rocket science, right? Sounds like rocket science? It is rocket science. It is incredibly hard for two reasons. One, being able to act. Being able to find who visited and act on it without causing a latency, a very sizable latency, is almost impossible. You cannot do it. Even if your code tech was trying to solve for that, they'll always tell you, no, as you scale, this is not going to work. If you have volumes, this is not going to work. Second problem is apps have an additional challenge. um, doing anything real time in app changing. Apps don't work that way. It's well, on Android still some hacks, but yeah, iOS doesn't work that way. Even Android doesn't work that way. So it's a little bit challenge to be able to solve this. While everybody wants this, everybody wants their site to reflect the right kind of content when a user shows up. Well, say hello to WebEngage. And and those who have not tried this, I do strongly recommend. It doesn't cost you to try. Well, it costs you to try, but yeah, I mean, we can make it work for you. So what you've got to do is, I'm showing you some examples of how web personalization works and the kind of things that you could do, right? How many people are familiar with marketing automation stacks here, or have actually done or own marketing automation stacks in companies, in your respective companies? Show of hands, please. थोड़ा और ऊपर, please. Okay, okay, that's quite a number. What our personalization stack is going to allow you to do is to help you with zero code changes, control inventory on your website. The example that you're looking at is one of our most recent customers, Akasa. We take a lot of pride in that association. How many of you have flown Akasa? Well, they don't fly a lot of sectors, so I'm assuming not. Yeah, well, sure. Okay. I'll pass on the message that there are flyers now. Um, when you go to Akasa, the website or their app, you try to look for a flight, and most of the times you'll drop off because that's what the Indian consumer does. Compares prices across 20 different portals and goes wherever the cheapest. Welcome to India. Now, what happens in case of Akasa is if that user comes back in a defined time period, the past search, the previous search, just the previous search, becomes the starting point of engagement for Akasa with that user. That leaderboard would have shown something else to a regular user. If you go visit just now, you'll probably see something else. But if you had this behavior, you added something and dropped off, this is what you're going to see. So we're taking that one step further. Or on being able to let you control some of these experiences. Again, reiterating, zero code changes. The use cases are widely varying. What you're seeing is it's actually a news portal, again a customer, and these news items that you're seeing are actually being served through WebEngage, depending on which city the user is visiting from, what content section the guy usually visits, and all of that. It just gets customized. I'm quickly going to rush through some examples. Please do take a look. All of these are possibilities without you having to, again, I'm reiterating, change any code on your site whatsoever, or your app for that matter. Use the data of that user to be able to serve personalized content like this in sections of your site and app that you've already pre-identified. I'll quickly rush through this. All of these are possibilities to things like these too. We run some very interesting use cases around, well, this is not really restocking. I'm sure we have that example too. I'll take you through that. But, a user bought a product from you, and let's say this is a product which is, which falls into the repeat category, something like a diapers, for example. If you bought a certain number of diapers or a certain size and number of packets, WebEngage would broadly know when you're going to run out of this, and if in that time period you show up on the app or you show up on the site, everything else goes in the first fold and it says just one click restock, right? And then everything else can happen later. That site experience changes for you in time. Well, there you go. So there is a reason why that item is showing. It just injected for that user. Everybody else, the life goes on as usual. Yep, not just commerce, but if just like all things that we do, there is application everywhere. So, be it edtech, fintech, you'll see us everywhere. Hi. You're looking at me? No. Yep. So, the add-on to our personalization engine, to unleash the true power, we have also launched catalogs and recommendations, um, which basically means how many people use catalog for their Facebook ads or Google ads? Here? I see a raise of hand. It's a very emotional, touchy topic. So the same format catalogs could be uploaded to WebEngage. We allow you multiple ways to add that data, keep it in sync, etc. Zero manual interventions. And that catalog very seamlessly plugs into all our channels. So be it in the form of sending emails, push notifications, WhatsApp, everything that you do inside WebEngage, you could plug that in, all the way to plugging it into your personalization stack that you just saw. So if in this example, what you're seeing is an email where those course recommendations are being served to that user from this platform. They're not created manually. And the same goes, well, all these are the similar examples across different categories. So these are all coming from catalog. Our catalog, like again, as I was mentioning earlier, is also horizontal in structure, which basically means you could tailor make this for your commerce store, for your edtech platform, for your fintech platform, for your travel platform. It just tailor fits in. Well, so ये वाला part हो गया, इसका ताली अभी हम लोग बजा सकते हैं. This is a new one. Thank you. I really think you guys need a drink. Is it too far away, the drink? Too far away. Yeah, you will have to wait. Yes, everybody agrees with this. We all suffer too many notification problem, and we all suffer, yes, and to a large extent we are the culprits. So I take that too. And not that we can do anything about it. Every marketing tech in this world, when it starts working, the first thing that happens in its life cycle is it gets abused. And happens to us all the time. We provide a tool and people abuse it like any other system. And we don't like this too. But in this mayhem, what really happens is some of these notifications that a user should have ideally looked at or should have looked at because they were a lot more relevant compared to the 50 others that are just arriving, they get lost in that mayhem. The user is striking all them out, swiping all them out, deleting all of them, and yours is gone too, even if it were materially important to them. Now, we suffer this all the time because notifications, right, once they are swiped out, they're swiped out. They just, you can't see it again. It's gone. So this is what we've done. We now have a notification inbox that you can integrate into your app. And the way we've designed this, you can integrate this into your website too. And which basically allows you to create that separate layer on your app to list all these notifications in the order they've been delivered from WebEngage to the user. So in case they've accidentally swiped something out or didn't want to use that notification at that time, they could always go back to the inbox. It's there. And it follows the typical inbox principles of marked as read, seen, not seen, etc., etc. We've built a full-fledged SDK for you, for your apps. Is an additional SDK on top of the ones that you have. We have put up a lot of code samples on GitHub. Just copy paste so that all this UI work gets created without any extra effort. And you could integrate this into your notification into your app right away. So we have a notification inbox also now for you. And the last bit, because the whole world is talking AI, we have to talk too. It's not that we were not building AI, but because we don't want to be seen as not doing anything, it was important for us to tell you things that we've done and things that we intend to do. We've done quite a few things in the last 2 years. We haven't, because we, like Avlesh was talking about, how we go about building our business. We are very focused. heads down into offering you more tools and abilities to do your job better, rather than boasting and talking about AI and WebEngage AI. This is not something who we are, and that is why we never talked about it. And not outside of even outside of this forum, we don't intend to. But there's some very interesting things that we've solved for, and we continue to across these three parts of the problem statement. All our customers and even prospects, they come to us because they want to solve for three specific problems. Who do you want to engage with? What is it that you want to engage them with? And find out, measurements all come in. When you see the measurements, find out why something is the way it is. You see a funnel in a certain way. This is your funnel. I did all the dicing, slicing, applied filters. This is a funnel, but why? What is causing this funnel to be the way it is, right? We try to solve for that too, and that's a very interesting thing we've built. So I've saved it for the last. Let me take you through the other stuff first. The who part of the problem. Most of the predictive segmentation that's talked about in the tool parlance is focused on purchase behavior. So you will, if you are into, how many of you have actually built predictive segments and used them in your business? You're always up there. We should get you on stage and talk, let you talk also. Who else? That's about it? Okay. So those, for the uninitiated, predictive segmentation largely revolves around purchase behavior, wherein you are able to build segments of users which says users who are likely to make a purchase, users who are likely to churn, and so on and so forth, right? So everything around the purchase behavior, which is something that we've always done. But what we thought would be very, very interesting is to actually convert it into a predictive segment around anything. When I say anything, right, when you put a WebEngage or integrate a WebEngage tool with your site, with your app, with your business, you pass a lot of data points like, somebody launched an app, somebody saw a product, somebody performed a search, somebody made a booking, somebody added an item to wish list. All these are actions that we track for you. And we provide you tons of analytics around that. Now think about this. If I'm tracking an action which says add to wish list, how many people are adding to wish list on your app, on your site all the time? Now that's a data point for you. If that data point for you was meaningful and you really wanted to do something about people who are adding items to the wish list, what we have gone ahead and done is we actually let you build a predictive segment on this event called add to wish list, which basically means you'll be able to build a segment of users who are likely to add an item to a wish list. Does it make sense with me so far? Bajao tali fir. Now, I mean, because we didn't have too much time to put all that, those who are using a WebEngage, please find it in your dashboard. It's right there. You could use to build predictive segments, and these predictive segments could be used like all other segments for your filtering, for your for building live journeys, and refreshing lists in the same manner as you would do any other segment. And taking that journey of who to what, because the whole world is using generative AI, we do have some for you too. We had a video here? Oh, we have a video here. So all the existing customers in these rows, find this useful? Find this useful? Will you pay more? No? Okay. Okay. No, we don't want you to pay more. Please use it. Um, yes. So we have integrated generative AI into all our content pieces, whether it's about creating a content or being able to suggest a better content, or getting you to start from zero and saying, I don't know where to really start, but I want this message or this email campaign that I want to send. I want it to have an element of FOMO, and suggest me content ideas, because this is this is a daily product newsletter of sorts, let's say, with an element of FOMO. We'll be able to do a 80% decent job with that. And not only provide you content for your email body, but your subject line. And the last example that you saw was, we minified a SMS for you, right? So you were typing an SMS campaign, and SMS being SMS is expensive. So if you go on to create bigger messages, it costs you money. What we could do is shorten your message so that it fits into a single one and still serves the same purpose. Two, also, what was not there in the video is we also help you um, find likelihood of spam score in your email subject lines. Turns out that's the biggest reason, one of the biggest reasons why your emails go into spam. And while you're building that content, we'll be able to provide you that spam score. Yes, don't pay me more, please use it. Uh, all right. And this probably are the last few slides, so I'm not going to keep you too long. You've seen funnels. We talked about being able to filter funnels, filter by attributes, filter by segments, see more, more to the point funnels specific to a certain problem statement. But you still have your question unanswered. Product viewed, added to cart. This is how the funnel looks like. Why? What's causing this to look like this? You please take a look on the right-hand side. Does it make sense? I'd love to have somebody in the audience explain this to me, whatever they're seeing on the slide. One month free subscription of WebEngage if they do it right. Who's going to take an attempt? Raise of hands. Who's going to explain what this is? What is it trying to say? Anybody? Wrong answers don't cost anything. Yes, I see a hand there. Yes, yeah, he wanted to take a dig. Yes. Anybody else wants to take a dig, please? Okay, we have few hands. Okay, quickly. 30 seconds. What is this?
Hello. Yeah. In this image, we can see that the product is viewed at 100%, which is 7,540, if I'm sure.
See,
if
yeah,
I'm
what are
correct,
the numbers? Sure.
And then the 76% added to cart, and then product added to cart means made a purchase actually.
Yes.
Is 15%.
That's your observation? Okay, good. I wanted to focus on the right-hand side, but that's all right. All right, please pass the mic here.
They are trying to sell the shirt based on, they have sent all the users that there is a high discount going on. And based on that, they are, the viewers, number of viewers who have seen the advertising is 7540. And from that 7540 numbers, 5730 users have added them to cart, and then 4674 people have purchased. The city where this campaign was run is Chandigarh, and they have used the Google search channel, and campaign was high intent campaign, basically. And within 3 days this happened. So that's a big thing. And the price range which people have purchased is the range of 1,500 to 2,000.
I'm still not getting to what I want to get to, but yeah, sure. Anybody else wants to take a dig?
Very similar to what he said. It's basically a statistic of, it shows that the source of this result is through a Google search, and the window of the search, the filter is for 3 days, and the source city is Chandigarh.
I get the data, But wasn't it trying to say, okay, I see a lot of hands can't carry on forward, but one last one. Whoever thinks has a good answer. You think you have a good answer? Okay, please give him the mic. If it's not a good answer, then we'll settle later. Please go ahead. Yeah.
It's basically saying that if the product category is shirts, they would have a 54% conversion rate in add to cart, if that is the category you are looking for.
We'll settle later. Yeah, sorry. Somebody's trying to say something.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Avlesh.
Where is that?
Hello.
Sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. So this basically shows that a predictive percentage, a probability of how many people can convert based on the funnels and the real segmentation, live segmentation data that you provide on the platform.
We'll settle later also. Okay. All right. I'm glad everybody took a dig and some of you came close. You really want to? You really want it that bad? You sure? Okay. Give him the mic. You better be right. Yes. Somebody is at the back, right? I can't hear you.
So, yeah. So add to cart and product added to cart, there's a huge difference. So add to cart, those users who have clicked on add to cart, the product should be added to the cart, and that's the catch.
That's your answer? We'll basically have to get you to pay for the food. Thank you anyways for taking an attempt. Thank you. Okay, so here is, where we do have a video, Tanya, right? Is it towards the end? Take a look at the video. Now, what this really is what we call as significant factors, which is our attempt to tell you why something is the way it is. Just that. We don't know, we don't really know. I mean, it could be like, your site sucks and nobody wants to buy, so that is why the funnel looks sad. But we'll be able to say that a lot more deterministically now with significant factors. With me? Okay. Now, what we're trying to say here is your funnel looks like this, which is a fact. This is what we have observed in data. But what we've also done is within this data sets, we have analyzed all possibilities to the limits of what machines can do, and come up with most significant factors leading to this, which basically means from step 2 to 3, if those users who have moved or dropped, whichever you want to analyze, they are showing these characteristics in this manner. The most significant characteristics, things that are outliers. Because if everybody is converting at 15%, I mean, you can't do anything. There's no insight for me to offer. But there are things that are converting better, and there are things that are converting terrible. We're trying to bring those out to you in the form of deterministic combinations, like the one that you see. So these are only for example, but you get the point. You get the point? फिर से ताली बजा दो यार, फिर तो ये तो बहुत अच्छी चीज है यार. So all of that, right? I'll quickly jump. Now, what we've done is to help you. I mean, of course, you'll be able to use this across funnels, cohorts, etc. But what we've done is to help you find answers to questions like these. We'll be able to at least provide you an insight as to what might be happening leading to this. so that you have a starting point. Because otherwise what you know is my app install is increasing, my funnel is dropping off, and so on and so forth, right? That's all you know. We're trying to at least state the why so that you can figure out the how and then do something about it. All these data points, by the way, like the same as we discussed earlier, are actionable. So if you know that a certain segment is creating this problem, you have high installs, but when we zoomed in, we found this probably is the biggest reason why uninstalls are happening. This combination is what causing the uninstalls to happen. You can focus on solving for that combination instead of worrying about the uninstalls in general. Because uninstalls in general will happen, it's okay. You got to focus on where you have to. Right? And so on and so forth. It's just, we just took an example to illustrate this. It applies to all data points within WebEngage. And we've already introduced this in some of the product segments. Slowly we'll roll it out for all others. Right from your very first screen, landing screen of WebEngage, where we actually show you your the monthly active user trends. This is how your MAU is increasing. This is how your DAUs are increasing, decreasing. You actually will see significant factors right there from that point. If your MAU is increasing, what are the significant factors contributing to it? If your MAU is decreasing, same. What is contributing to it? So yeah, we're trying to take this one level up. I'll play the video again just for impact and one more round of claps, and then we'll end. That's about it, guys. Thank you so much for giving me a very patient listening. And I want to call out my team here. I see Amit. Amit, please come and show yourself. Amit is our director of products. I have Cure here in the audience. Cure, please come over. Cure runs all our customer service functions, and my co-founder is usually missing from the scene. We don't even get to click him in events like this. He keeps hiding. Where is Ankit? Yes. Do we have Yash in the audience? We don't have Yash in the audience. Yeah. Thank you so much for being with us today. The day is still about to go, but it's all credit to these gents who burn midnight oil in creating the stuff that you see. So thank you, Amit, Kure, Ankit for all the great work, and all of us are around. The rest of my team is also here. We are all around for us to answer any questions that you may have. We are very terrible salespeople. For that, I have some sales guys also. But if you really need any help and assistance, we'll not try to sell you. We will sell you eventually, but we'll try to help. So thank you once again. And any questions on this one, I'm happy to take. I can take a couple of questions, and then we can move on to the next one. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Any questions? If anybody has, I'm happy to. Otherwise, yes.
Hi, I'm Pinakin. I work for DevX company. And with respect to the presentation that you have shown, right, initially, I think you showed me a dynamic representation of any communication with any visitor basis of the journey or the channel it might be. So you showed in a representation that it could be a Google search also. And I really want to know if it is a cookie-based thing that you will be giving in, or is it like the user has to sign in, or he particularly has to has an account with my business or something? And how is it? Like, for example, my business focuses on web engagements a lot. So then in that case, it is particular for us to identify if it is like a cookie-based thing, his past searches, and if the person is refreshing the cookies. So how do we go about that?
Do you prefer it that way? Should it work for anonymous users based on?
Okay, it's a no, that category. I wouldn't answer that. I'm not sure.
No, you're right, because it's there. Please,
So,
yes.
So yeah, if that is the case, but then otherwise also I would like to understand if it is in an international context also, since GDPR and such other compliances are there. So this kind of communication is going to hamper our international audiences also.
No, it won't,
Yeah.
because one. Okay, so first to your question, number one, It works across all user segments, including unknown users. All their data, there is no, I mean, there is a thing called cookie, of course, but in WebEngage, everything that we track about the user is all tracked into our systems. Even anonymous users have an ID. They're also known. I mean, they don't have a name, they don't have like, identity data, they don't have emails, phone numbers, etc. But they're users. And all this data that you see, where they came from, what is it that they're searching, all of that data is tracked into WebEngage. So your attribution data is all filled in with all these UTM parameters that they've carried forward with, right? So that's number one, which means all of that data you could use to target them, because for us, they're users, but anonymous, still identifiable in the context of WebEngage. Now, to your second question, the way we think about GDPR and the way we go about building these capabilities is the onus of taking consent from a user on what is it that is being tracked for their personalization sits with you. As long as you're good with it, all of this is fine. All of this is fine, because by just the fact that you've taken care of user consent by terms of getting your privacy policy, your terms of service, you're all good to go. So all of this is GDPR compliant because you're using first-party data to be able to do this. It's all your data. You just have to make sure that your housekeeping is all good. Otherwise, you don't have to worry.
Thank you.
Yep. Anything else? We're good to go? Good to go. Thank you so much. And thanks for being a great audience.